Good morning, guys. This is Side Hustles by Soens. Today we will talk about how to start your Airbnb step by step. And today we're going to have Heidi So, an Airbnb ambassador in El Paso, Texas, to discuss and give us examples on how to start your Airbnb. She has been in Airbnb for a couple of years, and today she's going to talk about a guide, simple guide that is going to introduce you to Airbnb. With no further ado, I'm going to give the introduction to Heidi So. She will talk about what's up, and she'll introduce this topic today.
Okay, hi. So I'm Heidi. Sorry if there's still an echo going on. We still haven't figured out. And we're not sure if it's because we're here in the venue or what's the issue. Okay, so very quickly, I'm gonna walk you guys through how to start just your Airbnb without much investment, without anything, and pretty much just go out there and start. So the reason we decided to do this again was because we got so many questions and people just wanting to learn more and how do I actually get started. But you know what? I don't have much money to invest, and how can I make it work? Right? So that was the main reason why we decided to, do this guide. And it's not a perfect guide. It's just something I just put together really quickly so that we could, show you guys and maybe, get you started. So what's going to be the first step? It is, do you have a property? Do you have a spare room in your home? Do you have maybe, are you leasing an apartment and you have an extra bedroom that you're not using? So none of these require you to buy new property or remodel or anything like that. So all of these are just about what do you have that you can actually put on Airbnb. So the main thing would just be, maybe you have a spare room. And I think that's going to be a lot, happening to a lot of people. And I think that's the main reason why I wanted to do this, because some of the questions that I got, they were like, I just have a spare room, and how can I figure out a way to offer a spare room? But you know what? I live there too. So what do I do? And I was just, okay, that's gonna be, you're gonna have a shared space. So when I mean that you have a spare room, maybe it's your guest room, but you only have one kitchen. You probably do have multiple bathrooms in your home, but I think the main shared space would be your kitchen and your living area. And before COVID, everything was so simple, so friendly. Everything was fine, and we would sing "Kumbaya," because it was just a way to meet travelers and make new friends. And a lot of retired people, they will make this a passive income and just meet new people, have friends, have someone to chat with. And it was just a very nice experience. So obviously, when COVID hit, most of those shared rooms completely closed down. But now, 1 year later, they're slowly opening up again. So that's why I'm here to tell you it's okay if you have a shared space. You can still do Airbnb as long as the room that you're offering, it's private. So if that room it's private, that it has its own door, then I think it's a good idea to put it on Airbnb. And just state it right off the bat that, you know, our kitchen will be shared and our living area will be shared. So most of the people, they might just need a place to crash, but in any case that they want to make breakfast, they want to, you know, just watch some TV, you know, just if you don't feel comfortable, you could always just wear your mask, right, while you have a guest. And I do recommend always sanitizing your whole house. There's multiple ways to do that now, and it's easy. It's easy and convenient now to always just have a clean home. So that's gonna be the number one. You know, that's gonna be the number one, and we're just gonna continue um, with. Sorry. So that's gonna be the number one step. My husband's a little. He's what's it called? Distracting me. Okay. And then so my number two, it's not really a step, but I do recommend it. Like I live by it. And it's, you know, go on to Thanks for Visiting and join their email list, join their mailing list, listen to their podcast. I mean, these girls are amazing. And I wish I would have known about them when I just started hosting Airbnb. That would have been so cool. And I would have done so many things differently. Because they show you everything that could possibly go good and go wrong. And I think that's a blessing in disguise. So definitely go out, check them out. Their website, it's thanksforvisiting.me. And if you're just thinking about starting an Airbnb, you're not there yet, you just want to start hosting, they're definitely this podcast, like it's so eye-opening and it's very rewarding. So go check them out. I'm gonna use a lot of their templates. I'm gonna use a lot of their info that they've given me throughout this year that I've been listening to them. And you know, I what I did was that I bought these templates, right? I'm not gonna give them out because I don't think that would be fair. But they do have a couple of templates that are free on their website that you can definitely download. And I'm just, you know, I'm just gonna show you like a screenshot, a quick screenshot of what it is, just so you get an idea. And of course, if you have any further questions later on, you can always reach back to me, and you know, we can figure something out, either by me being an Airbnb ambassador for you or also being your co-host. So we can always do that as well. But I'm definitely very grateful that I found them, and just go check them out, guys. So now we're gonna go to step number three, and step number three will be, again, is it your home? And you probably already have it furnished, and that'll be a big plus because you're not just getting this space to rent. You're actually, you live here. This is your house, and you just have an extra room. You know what? All the kids have gone, and it's just me and my husband now, and we have a couple of rooms extra, or maybe just one extra, you know? So definitely that will be the best thing. You know, you already have it furnished. It's already in your home. And instead of going out and buying a new mattress, if you feel this mattress is in a good, you know, it's still good to go, then what I recommend doing is just going and buy a mattress protector. So those mattress protectors you can most of the time wash. You know, there's some that are plastic that are also really good. And then, you know, it's just those mattress protectors that are really nice. So definitely, you know, try those if you don't, you know, if maybe you don't have the money to buy a new mattress, or you think that it's in a really good state and you just, you know, this is your extra room. So I totally understand if you don't want to go buy a new mattress, but definitely put some sort of mattress protection or mattress cover that, you know, makes the guests feel clean, and that it's not just, you know, this old mattress there. So definitely I recommend doing that. And then we're going to talk about, this is an essential checklist that Thanks for Visiting gives out for free. You can download them again on their website. And this Airbnb startup checklist, it's a lot of things. And of course, you don't have to buy everything And most of these things you will already have in your home. So, it goes through, kitchen, bathroom, living room, bedroom. It tells you everything that should be, excuse me, included in your Airbnb. And again, you don't have to have all these things. If you think that, maybe it's redundant or, already have those, then you don't have to buy it, but this is just a checklist for you to start, what do I need? How can I make this feel welcome? And like I mentioned before, maybe you forgot to leave a wine opener or a can opener, and having this checklist really guides you and makes sure that you don't forget anything. So I love this checklist when I'm starting a new Airbnb listing. This is going to be like the best thing. And again, go to their website and you can download that for free. And then now we have, once you know that you have this room, that it's in a good position, and it's great to put on Airbnb, even if it's not decorated, those details, we can sort them out later, but at least you know you have a potential room. Then we can go and, using my link, and you can join and become an Airbnb host. So again, we talked about this last week, and I'm an Airbnb ambassador. I can guide you and help you through your first booking, having your first guest through that door, and I'll guide you step by step how to get there. So definitely use my link, and I'll be happy to show you the ropes of this. So that's gonna be it. I know it's a creepy link. I'm not really, fancy with like fixing it, but that's the Airbnb link that Airbnb gives out to us hosts to recommend new hosts. So now we have it. You set up. You already joined Airbnb. Even if you already had an Airbnb account, now you're going to become a host. So that's gonna be a different. It's still the same app. It's still the same website, but of course you get a lot of different options to manage your listing. And then we're gonna go and now we make it pretty. Now we make your room, we're working together, me and you, and I can just give you some details as a designer. We don't have to bring down walls, we don't have to paint. Maybe if you want to paint, we can definitely paint, but we don't have to do a lot of things. Maybe just add a couple of artwork, maybe just just do a different bedding setting, do those nice pillows, and then do the karate, chop, and just make it so pretty that people will want to stay there, and that they'll be comfortable and feel welcome in your space. So once we make it pretty, that's when we take pictures. And the ideal time to take pictures will be during the day, because you get the natural sunlight and it's great. So always take pictures landscape. That's another thing. I know that a lot of hosts will tell you, don't take pictures on your phone, and get a professional photographer. And I wish all this time that I've had the budget to actually hire a photographer, because Airbnb does that for you. You can hire them and then of course pay them through Airbnb. But I just, throughout this time, we've wanted to, and we still haven't found the budget to do all of, each listing and do it again. So I've just taken pictures on my phone. I've just used my iPhone, and it takes nice pictures. Now they have this, bird's eye sort of thing that you can definitely get a broader picture. So I definitely like that. And so yeah, check it out and use. I mean, if that's all you have, just use your iPhone, use your phone, your Samsung, whatever it is, whatever phone you're using. So and then later, after we take those nice pictures and we have it ready, then we'll figure out a way to. Well, we won't figure it out. I'll show you what to write on your description, on your title, to make sure that people want to stay here or click on it. But as I've said, it's either the pictures that get people through the door or the description listing. And I try to do both. On some of my listings, I have really nice pictures, and I also have like a very, you know, thorough description of what's going on what to expect. But you know, we can always try and work on that. And then that'll be, you know, on me showing you how to do that and how to describe your listing. You know, I'll be asking you some questions about, you know, how you live there, right? So that's a good thing, because you know if there's a lot of noise, or maybe next door your neighbor has, I don't know, a rooster or something that, you know, it's just singing in the middle of the day or stuff like that, you know. And it's not crazy things, but it's just, you know, maybe people will like to know, maybe they won't, you know, but at least we know that information, and then we'll make a decision if we definitely tell the guests, you know, what to expect. And that's, I think that's the most important thing, you know. If maybe you have like an old tub and or something that might be a liability, that's always a good thing to put on there, and make sure that, you know, people do know and know what to expect. So on my experience, I always let people know that we're downtown, and that's an entertainment center and the entertainment district. And before COVID, it was very high traffic, you know, a lot of noise. And I just made sure that they knew what they were coming to, because if they were coming to rest and making sure it's going to be quiet, then definitely this wasn't the place for them. They needed to find another Airbnb, because here it wouldn't have been quiet at all. So now that it's very quiet, it's kind of surprising. But I didn't remove that from my listing, because I don't want it that maybe it'll pick up again downtown, and then, you know, they'll be mad that, you know, it's not quiet, and I wanted to be here and sleep, and, you know, you never know. So it's better to always just put it out there just in case. So now that we, you know, have everything set up and you're good to go with the pictures, with the description on your listing, now we have to choose the right price. Airbnb gives you the option to use their pricing tool, which is called Smart Pricing. I don't recommend doing that, because I've noticed that they don't really modify depending on what's going on, and they also always lowball you. So I don't do that. I definitely, what I do, it's that I've checked out alltherooms.com, and this gives me, I've paid for this, you know, for this tool, but they give me an idea of how much to charge. So as we see here, this is the zip code 79903, and that one, it's on our duplex. So this is monthly revenue, okay? All the listings that are live put together, and how much, you know, they're bringing to El Paso. So, you know, it looks like it's around $277,000 per month. And then, you know, we have around 464 listings live. And the average rate, it's $64. So $64, I would say it's very low if you have a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, completely an entire home. But for a private room, which is what you might be doing, you only have a spare room, and you're sharing kitchen and washer and living area, then that's a good price. That's a good price to, you know, start at, because, you know, they're not going to be by themselves. So definitely it's different. Because again, this is a private room. It's not a shared room. You're not going to be sleeping in that same room. It's a private bedroom that it's going to be on your own. And then you're just going to be sharing those living areas. So that's a good price, I would say, for a private room. But if you have an entire home that you want to do, I don't know if you can see, but it's a different. I think it's saying that it's like the average nightly rate. It's 67. That's too low. That's definitely too low. I don't really put 67. I think I always range between, maybe 70 to 90, 95. And throughout the time, I do give some discounts out. But again, that's just the nightly rate. You also have to add on the cleaning fee and the taxes and the Airbnb service fee. So, again, it just depends. It varies, and it mostly varies depending on the area that you have your home. So that's going to be the main thing. Where are you located? And then again, you can totally see that this is back in October 2020, and you can see that there's definitely 0 shared rooms because of COVID, right? So no one is actually listing their properties to share a space with them, like living in that same bedroom. So it's just the times. But before, it was definitely different. So okay, so moving on. Now we talk about Airbnb. Gives you the option to, once you are ready to go live on your listing, it tells you this is a one-time deal. Do you want to offer 20% to your 3 first guests? Always say yes, because this is the way for Airbnb to get people through your door, and also to get them to write a great review. So again, it's very hard to book a place that doesn't have a review. So by offering this discount, you get people in the door, and then you get your first 3 reviews. And then now you're maybe a 5-star, listing. And that's the way to go. So definitely do that. Always say yes. Always say yes to offering that 20% discount. And that is the reason why I also don't put my price too low when I just start. Because if I put it too low, maybe I do, I don't know, $60 per night. Then you have to do the 20% discount. So now you're lower than you were expecting. And it's not the fact that you're trying to take advantage of your guests. It's just that this is a business, and you're trying to get your investment, or that revenue back. So it's nothing wrong with giving a discount. Just make sure you don't put it too low, where then you're not really making any money. And that's going to be the main thing. Price it right, so that you have that good pricing. And even though if you offer discounts from time to time, you still don't feel like you're losing money. So now we do the cleaning fee. Always, always, always add a cleaning fee. Before, when I started, I never had a cleaning fee. But again, I was, hiring someone to do the cleaning for me. I just wasn't charging the guests. And I was adding like that sort of cleaning fee into the nightly rate. And I don't recommend doing that. I don't, because then, you're always way too high than your other competitors. And the reason is because you're not charging a cleaning fee, but you're putting it in that nightly rate. And it's harder to get people in the door when they see the nightly rate being so high. So do a moderate, average nightly rate, and then add your cleaning fee. If you're going to be doing the cleaning and you don't think that you need to charge much, that's fine. $15, $20 just for cleaning. It's okay when you're starting. Once you obviously hire someone else, then you do have to bring up that cleaning fee, so that more people, so that person that's actually working for you can make a living wage out of it, right? So it's just up to you. But at the beginning, of course, if you're doing the cleaning, just add something, maybe $10, $15, $20, whatever you feel comfortable. But again, make sure that it is like spotless, because that's what's going to happen with your reviews. The best Airbnb, the more spotless it is, the great communication you have, that's going to make the biggest difference. And that's going to, people are going to pick you out of the bucket because of those reasons. So make sure to do that, and to add that cleaning fee. And No está. And then also at the sanitizing, right? So of course we're not charging extra because we're sanitizing, but because of COVID, make sure you do either you use Lysol or you buy those guns that sanitize, or we bought a whole backpack because we just needed to sanitize a lot of rooms. So figure out a way to sanitize your space and continue living with this health and cleaning regimen because it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing, but also it's just a standard. It's a standard. People expect it to be spotless and sanitized. So always keep that in mind. And then what we would do is that I would ask a friend. Probably, if I were to be my friend, I would ask me because I think I'm one of the most honest friends that you'll have. I say it, how it is. But I always ask, my friend. I've asked my friend Alejandra, and she stayed with her boyfriend. As soon as it's ready, I'm like, you know what? Go stay there, check it out, bring just an overnight bag, and stay here and enjoy. And tell me what I'm missing. Tell me something that you're missing and that you couldn't find, if it was maybe toilet paper, there wasn't enough, or, I was trying to cook soup and I didn't find, a pan or whatever, so just always, I tell her to give me all the deets. So this is also a checklist done by my great friends. Thanks for visiting. And they just give you like this quick checklist of to give your friends and be like, hey, you know what, check all of these things for me, please. You're staying here, and watch TV, get connected to the internet, try to do some work, try to do live stream, cook a meal, take a shower, read our welcome book or our blog, use all the sinks, sleep in the bed, and use the provided bedding and pillows. Use a few outlets to make sure that they all work. This did happen to me once, that it wasn't working and we didn't know because no one used it, and it was the one in the shower, in the bathroom. So I guess no one just connected the hair dryer, and then finally someone did, and we went ahead and we fixed it. But that's something that it's true. It's very important. Check the outlets, connect stuff to the outlets, and make sure that they're working. And then take any liberties to check under everything, under the bed, open all the drawers, check the closet, see what, maybe, oh, it wasn't clean here, it wasn't clean here, oh, you're missing something, and always check for everything. Make coffee, make tea, make hot chocolate, make something. With what we provide, we usually either provide a Keurig coffee, or we just do instant coffee, or just a typical coffee maker. But we try to offer all those things throughout our listing. And then we leave the bottle of wine. We usually do leave the bottle of wine for them to enjoy. I think I've always left like maybe like 3 different bottles of wine. Not because I want them to get drunk and anything, but just because we all have different tastes in wine. And me personally, I like Moscato. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that, but I like white wine. I'm advertising here, getting your wine on early morning. So that's definitely what we recommend doing. And then the other thing will be, okay, sorry, I lost my notes. Okay, there I am. So the next thing will be your welcome book or your blog. And when we just started doing Airbnb, I was getting all of these questions all the time. And it was the same questions. Oh, what can I do in El Paso? Is there something to do? Where should I go? Where should I shop? Where should I get my groceries? Yada, yada, yada. And then it was just like me answering every time, and copying and pasting from Yelp or something like that. So I remember telling my husband about this situation that I was having. So he went on and he started a blog. and it's called theunionplaza.com. And he did this, I don't even know with what time, but he did this for us. And you know, he did the let's talk food, and we gave all of those great restaurants around downtown, everything, you know, within maybe a walking distance or like maybe like a 1-2 mile radius from here. So that's one of the things that we did. And then the other one was tips for long-term stay in the Union Plaza district. So again, I've had a lot of people, especially now with traveling nurses, I've had a lot of people asking, you know, where can I go do grocery shopping? Where can I do this? Where is there a pharmacy? Blah, blah, blah. So we did this for them so that they knew how to get to and how to get back. And in each listing, in each blog, my husband actually, you know, if you click on it and then you go to maybe just you choose that restaurant, it'll take you directly to the maps. I think that's a very cool thing because you don't have to worry about someone, you know, Googling it or something. You just click on it and it takes you directly to it. So, you know, and then the last one that we did back then was, you know, our top 5 food for drinks, visit, and to visit the food and the drinks. So, you know, before then I was not pregnant. And we were going out and we were having fun, and you know, so we knew the bars around the area. There's a lot of, you know, close. There's a lot of things close by here in downtown, so we're very, you know, central, and it's close to everything. So that was another thing that we were doing, and you know, it was just nice, and I was so grateful that he did this for us, because now what I would do is they would ask, and I would just send them the link to our blog. Here's our blog, check it out. And you know, and that's amazing. And a lot of people were thankful for it because it really it was working great. So it's still working great for us. So but we've only done that for downtown. The other one that I did it for was Playa del Carmen, and I actually put my brother up to this. He stayed in Playa for around 2 months, and I was like, that's gonna be your job. You have to tell me where to go, what to do, what beaches are the best, you know, what bars, what anything related to having a good time and having a fun time in Playa del Carmen. So he did that for me, and I added that to Airbnb only, which you're able to do that as a guidebook. So that's pretty cool to do. And then after you do your welcome book or your blog, and again, these things, they don't have to be off the bat. You don't have to do it before you list your space. You know, it's a work in progress. You know, you start getting those questions, and then you figure out a way to, okay, let's just have somewhere that they can look at it and have all the information, so that they're not, you know, either asking or just not wanting to ask, and you know, having that, you know, doubt in their mind, like, oh, we should have just asked them or something. So definitely do something like that later on if you're not very techy. But we do have also a welcome book guide that Thanks for Visiting actually shared with us. So that's pretty cool to do. And then the other thing that they also gave us was this Wi-Fi template. Just always make sure that the Wi-Fi template, it's there, and anywhere, you know, anywhere in the house, as long as it's visible. Because I think that's one of my most common questions before I had it, was that, you know, what's the Wi-Fi password? What's the Wi-Fi password? What's the Wi-Fi password? So as long as you have it somewhere, make sure that it's there. And because everybody's going to need Wi-Fi. Everybody's going to use your Wi-Fi. Everybody's going to need the Wi-Fi. So make sure that you have it. Okay, so moving on, we go to, now you're going to welcome your first guest, right? You already got it on Airbnb, you took the pictures, you got the description, you made sure that you have the Wi-Fi template, you started, you know, you added that cleaning, and your friend already checked in. So now what do we do? I sometimes leave the wine, but you can also do a welcome basket, or maybe just a thank you card. And this is the thing that I do. It's also from Thanks for Visiting. I had done it before. They gave me this listing, this checklist. But when they gave me this checklist, I definitely added some of those things that I wasn't adding then. So what I do is that I leave as a welcome basket the forgot basket. So I don't leave this forgot basket inside the bathroom because most likely they won't see it, or they'll just think it's yours and that you're not really supposed to use it. So no, I leave the forgot basket on top of the bed, or maybe on the living room, somewhere they can see it for sure. And then, I leave a little card and say, you know what, you're welcome to use any of this if you forgot something. It'll save you a trip down to the drugstore, or anything. So you're welcome to use anything that I provide for you. And that's great. So sometimes what I do is that I put the wine bottle inside that basket along with all those forgot things. And it's great. I've gotten great compliments about it. It doesn't have to be fancy. They don't have to be expensive stuff. I do a lot of disposable. I run to the drugstore, to the Dollar Tree a lot, and just get whatever I'm missing. So the dollar store, it's your best friend when you're trying to just get ready everything. And those things, I provide, but it won't cost you much. Maybe it's going to be like $10, $15 extra. But maybe they won't use any of it, or maybe they will, and they'll be thankful for it. And that's going to get you that great review that you need so that your listing can get more people through that door. So then we start with having a great communication. So once your guest has checked in, you're not there anymore, right? Maybe you're there, maybe you're in your room, maybe you don't want to go to the kitchen because they're there, maybe they're in the living area, what have you. But that's okay. You always have to just be available either through phone, text, or Airbnb messaging. And as long as you have great communication with your guest, I'm sure they're going to leave you a great review, and they're going to feel welcome and comfortable staying in your home. So definitely do that. Make sure that, I think that's the most important thing for me. I think that's been my lifesaver most of the time. If something happens, I'm always there. If maybe, I don't know, something happened with the plumbing, or we had to get them out soon because something was going on, I always I always faced them. I brought a nice, gift basket, and that gift basket, it's always full of dulce de leche that my father-in-law makes. So I always try to bring them some treats that they'll enjoy, and and forgive me for whatever it is that happened, because of course we don't plan for bad stuff to happen while they're staying here. But it's always nice to take responsibility and show up, and and just be that nice, great super host that you're hoping to be. So just keep that great communication. We have some canned responses that I've used throughout this time. I definitely use this app called Smart BNB. And from Smart BNB, I believe Thanks for Visiting got their canned responses because they're very similar. So I do that. And I just, I invested in this app. It's not expensive, but I didn't do it at the beginning. I didn't even know it existed. So I would just reply. Airbnb gives you this tool in your messages that you can add certain responses already, and then you can just name them and then add the message. So then that way you don't have to write them out every single time. You can just go there, and then you can just click on it, and it'll just send that message. It won't automatically send it when someone's asking you a question or anything, but you can always just go in there, and let's suppose they just booked your place. So instead of it being dead silent, radio silence, then you can actually just go in there, click on that, and then just send that, edit it before you're sending, of course, because you're gonna have to edit their name, and the dates that they're gonna plan and checking in. But definitely do that. That's one of the great things that this app has, that they do send it automatically. But if not, then you can always just add that messaging and that wording, and it's gonna be great. So it'll be great for that great communication to have with that guest. So okay, so now moving on, we already got the guest. Let's go back. We already got the guest through Airbnb. They already checked in. They already, you had a great communication with them, and then we're here now. Their checkout, right? They check out, they leave, and you say, thank you for staying here. And now it's cleaning time. So there's this turnover handbook that Thanks for Visiting has, and it's just great. It shows you step by step what to do. But I think I really like what they did here, which is the overall. What are you supposed to do once your guest leaves? You're supposed to walk through the property and write down any damages or any excessive mess to the host if they left a very heavy footprint, or if they left everything clean and tidy. Also make sure to notice that, because when you write that review to that guest, you have to give an honest review. Honest reviews are what makes better hosts, but us hosts depend on those honest reviews. If you always just give 5 stars to everyone, regardless if they left your place, a mess, or if they broke stuff, then you're not doing anyone a favor. You're just hurting the rest of the hosting community, because now I'm gonna probably get that guest, that bad, terrible guest, and they're gonna do the same thing to me. And if they do the same thing to me, if I could have prevented that from happening to other hosts, I always do. So always, keep it honest review, but always write down everything or take pictures. Always take pictures if they left a mess, if they broke anything. Take pictures. That's what you are going to need in order to make a claim through Airbnb. So it rarely happens. I can definitely say this. Out of my maybe 300 reviews, I've had over like 600 stays. I think maybe like 5 have been like, what the hell happened here? And it hasn't been a lot going on. So don't do that. Or I'm sorry, don't expect it to be in a horrible position. Just, it's always going to be great, but always make sure to keep honest reviews when you do get that bad guest. So okay, so then the next thing is toss, donate, remove any condiments, food, or beverage left behind. And the other one will be report any gifts or thank you cards left behind to the host, or maybe they won't leave any gifts, but definitely just report anything that happened back. Always report back on it. And then now we're gonna go to reviewing your guest. So again, I just spoke briefly about it. Keep an honest review. I used to have these templates done for me where I would just, if they left the place spotless or clean and tidy and they were responsible and there was no damages or anything, I would always just try and just change the guest name and do this review for them. I did a couple. Sometimes I would meet them, sometimes I didn't. So then I would just, tailor it depending on that person. But it was just an easy way to give that review out, as long as they were very good at the place and they left everything in great situation. So do that. And then to close off, I'm going to show you the income report of supposedly what you could make from Airbnb by listing your space. So here in El Paso, Texas, if you host your entire place, so again, this is a home, you're not gonna be living there. For 4 guests, you could earn up to around $1,600 a month. Those numbers change if now it's not an entire place and now it's just a private room inside your home. Of course, it's gonna be lower. It's always cheaper when you're just renting one private bedroom instead of the entire home. But keep that in mind. I do a lot of this. Doesn't say how many bedrooms it has to have. This is only saying that you're renting your entire place, your entire home, for 4 guests. So in a 1-bedroom apartment, I'm able to fit 4 guests because I have the bedroom, I have the living area, the kitchen, and the bathroom, right? So what I do is that, I have maybe a king size bed or a queen size bed in the bedroom. In that living area, I usually add a trundle bed or a day bed where, it's 2 single beds on top of each other. And, that will be for guests 3 and 4. So, we do give that option. Obviously, it's not like it's going to happen a lot. But in any case that they are bringing 4 guests, they have a place to sleep. So it doesn't really matter about, I need to get more, maybe at an inflatable bed or a sofa bed, but just try and see if there's a way that you can add more people if you have enough square footage. If it's too tiny, if it's a tiny home or something, don't because they're not going to be comfortable all crammed up together. And then I'm going to just show you guys my profile on Airbnb, and just for you to get an idea of what's it like. So it shows how many reviews I have, it shows my rating, and then you can briefly see just some of the listings that I have. And of course, those listings, there are 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and the price is higher than the average because it's a 2-bedroom. But it's a 2-bedroom, and I still only allow 4 guests. Just because it's a 2-bedroom doesn't mean I have 8 people. No, this is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and my maximum is 4 guests. I am not in the business to just getting heads in beds to just make more money. That's not what we do. That's not what I like. So I definitely want them to feel comfortable and have enough space to have a good stay. So that's an example that I wanted to show you guys. You briefly see my intro, my introduction to my guests, and then the other thing that I wanted to show you would be my reviews. So with this, it's just briefly. I know it's hard to read it fast or something. I just wanted to show you what it's gonna look like once you list your space on Airbnb. So that will be your profile. You have your profile with all of your listings, or just maybe that one listing. And then once you get to that review part, you're gonna have that review on your profile, and more people are able to see them. So maybe later on, if you're adding more lists, all of your reviews are going to be all together. It's not going to be separated individually unless you click on that specific listing. But in any case, that's how it's going to go. So thank you so much for having me. I know this was a very longer than expected, but it's a lot of work, I would say, and it does take some time. It's not as just get on there, but I hope this is very helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know later on, and we'll be happy to reply to anything that's going on with you guys.
Okay, so this was Airbnb step-by-step guide, how to start your first Airbnb. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on next live show. Thank you. Bye.